So, after 3 months of daily usage of the SG Fresh Ideas InvisShield tempered glass screen protector for the Galaxy S9 Plus, this is going to be a full review of what it was like to use it, how it was like to install it, and pretty much everything you don't really see from just the ad. So first, I want to thank SG Fresh Ideas for actually sending this out. They sent this out to me a while back, and I decided, since most people were going to be buying this to use, I decided I was going to use it for as long as I could before making a review about it. And I think 3 months is a sufficient amount of time to have fully used the product. And well, let's jump right into the review. So first things first, installation. You get this box when you order it, and within the box, you get various installation tools. So like, for example, a cloth, a little manual for instructions with their WhatsApp number and Skype on it. So this is the USB cable used to power the UV light, the actual piece of glass itself. And you get 2 bottles of glue and a little level just to tell you if your table is crooked or not, which might affect your installation. So all that is fine and dandy, but the actual installation was a lot harder than I expected, unfortunately. So inside this little manual, they give you a link which links to a set of instructions telling you how exactly to install it, which is fine. However, the video made it seem a lot less complicated than it actually ended up being, because unfortunately I had a lot of issues with it. But what it mainly boiled down to, if you guys want to see the full installation video, you guys just click in the corner, like right around this area. But what it ended up boiling down to was I could not get the right fit, and the adhesive would not move. I think the adhesive was my fault or something, I'm not sure. But unfortunately, my installation was not perfect. So I'm gonna see if I can show you guys. So all around the edges, unfortunately, I did not get it to adhere properly. So you can see there's a lot of little tiny bubbles. Just turn off the screen so I can see better. A lot of little tiny bubbles going all the way up and down the screen. A tiny little bubble there. The bottom was fine, I guess. Let's see, going around. As you can see, a lot of little bubbles there. Unfortunately, I got it aligned just a little bit off. The screen protector doesn't sit perfect 100% on the phone. It's a little misaligned. Unfortunately, it's not misaligned to the point where cases interfere with it or anything, but it is misaligned to the point where the adhesive doesn't properly adhere to the device. Yeah, so unfortunately, without a guide, like the one included in the Whitestone Dome, installation was a pretty big pain in the butt. If you're a first-time installer like I was, I would definitely do a few practice runs using water or something like that before actually performing this on your own. I only did 1 practice run with water, and that was like super quick. I just tried it just because they said to, and unfortunately that ended up screwing me over in the end. But I am happy with the way the installation just turned out. So not really any complaints there, other than I wish they included a guide, or at least they gave you the option to buy a guide, because that would have made this process so much easier. Now, moving on to daily usage. So I recall watching a video by this YouTuber named This Is Tech Today, who reviewed the SG Fresh Ideas InvisShield for the Pixel 2 XL, and he said there was this issue where the screen protector would be foggy or hazy, like not as clear as a actual piece of glass from Whitestone. I'm glad to say I haven't had any of these issues. Visibility is perfect 100% at every angle. The only really quote-unquote issue I have with it in terms of viewability is the way it might reflect light, because the way the adhesive cures or whatever, or hardens, it makes this little weird wavy reflections. So like the reflections you can see are a little wobbly or like not perfectly straight. But I mean, honestly, that's such a non-issue. I'm only saying it because I don't really have anything else to complain about. Viewability is perfect. It's 100%. I really couldn't tell a difference between this and the actual piece of glass that comes with the phone. In terms of something like the oleophobic coating, I'd say there was a minor lack of smoothness, like as in compared to something like a brand new phone where your finger just glides on the screen like butter. There's a little more resistance, but again, it's such a non-issue. You really wouldn't notice this in day-to-day usage. And the only reason I think I have this issue is because I didn't use the nano coating that came with the installation kit. And because of that, I have to use the base oleophobic coating that comes on the actual piece of glass they give you. Now, moving on from oleophobic coating, smoothness in general, no issues, perfect. It's as smooth as, well, a piece of glass can be. There have been no issues with it. I've dropped this phone a few times. The screen protector has gone a little scratched up, but I mean, that's the point. Other than normal wear and tear, there have been literally no issues with this screen protector. And this is the case-friendly version of the protector. SG Fresh Ideas also sells a full cover, so in the event you use a case that doesn't go up to the screen at all, or you just want to go caseless, there's that option. But when they sent this one out, they did not offer that, so I was not able to get it. But I have to say I'm very glad that I did not get that version, because case compatibility is great with this screen protector. Now unfortunately, that also means you get this large cutout at the top of the screen where it can be easily damaged or scratched. But that's because there's so many sensors up there that it'd be a really big pain in the butt to try to cover it, so they just left it blank. But if you can notice, the screen protector doesn't go all the way to the edges of the screen. That is because it provides a little bit of space for cases. And I have a large assortment of cases that I will now be showing you going onto this phone. So I have a lot of cases to choose from, or not a lot, but a fair amount, and let's get right into it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to provide links to most of these cases because these are all generic ones I bought off AliExpress, but I'm pretty sure you could find these on Amazon for a lot more than what I paid for these. So this is the fake Samsung Alcantara case. So this is one of the cases that you would use a full cover with. So this is one of the cases that doesn't go all the way up to the screen. It just ends right there. So see, there's a large little space where it sits. Let's go ahead and take this off. So this type of case would be compatible with pretty much any screen protector you have. Next, it's this little bumper TPU type acrylic case. I think that's what it was called. Let's go ahead and put it in. As you can see, it fits perfectly. It goes right up to the edge of the screen protector. Fortunately, the bottom isn't protected all the way. There's still a little bit of space at the top as well, not including these cutouts. But side to side, it's perfect. It goes all the way up. It doesn't push up on the screen protector in any way, shape, or form. Our next case is this little Ringke, R-I-N-G-K-E, I think that's how it's spelled, case I bought off Amazon for I think $4 or $5. As you can see, it doesn't go up right to the edge screen protector like the previous case did, but it does go up a fair bit and leaves a tiny gap. Here's this tempered glass case that honestly it's really crap. Please don't buy it. So this is another one of the cases where a full cover screen protector would fit, because you can see it does not go right up to the edges. There's a fairly wide gap. So this is a Samsung silicone case. I know it's really nasty, but I haven't used it in a while. But put it in. Fits perfectly. So this is a two-piece case. As you can see, I don't really know what this sticker is for or whatever, but it does kind of just snap on. So I think that's fully snapped on. So you can see, it doesn't go up quite as far as the black bumpered one, but it does go up quite a bit. And finally, we have this tempered glass case that is the superior version to the one I showed you earlier. This one, as you can see, it goes right up to the edge of the screen protector. But as you can see, this type of screen protector does work with a majority of cases that you would use. So honestly, it's fine in terms of the case friendliness. It does live up to the name. So I think we can start wrapping this up. My conclusions about this screen protector, honestly, it's a great screen protector for the price. The main issue I have with it is installation, and that's honestly partly my fault due to me rushing it and just wanting to get it on without practicing or anything like that. I would definitely not recommend this to someone like that person who bought an S9 at the carrier store because it said Samsung and they had an S6 or S7 before, or S8. I would definitely not recommend it to a mom or dad because this is definitely a more advanced installation than what I would feel comfortable basically telling a person who isn't too much into tech to consider doing. But if you are somebody who doesn't mind tinkering around, you don't mind spending an hour or two trying to, get the perfect alignment, that type of thing. If you're like me who goes through like 10 different cases trying to find a perfect case for yourself, or someone who knows tech pretty well, or if you are someone who has used a Whitestone dome previously and you have a cutout lying around and you don't want to pay the $30, $20 or something that Whitestone is asking for a replacement, this is honestly a great option for you. Usability is great. Viewability is great. There's almost no difference compared to something like the OEM glass or even the Whitestone. In terms of, sensitivity, feel, installation is really the only part where I'd say that's where it differs. And it really shows why this installation kit is about $10 cheaper than the Whitestone Dome on Amazon. So in terms of price, a full installation kit for the Whitestone Dome for the S9 Plus is around $45 according to Amazon. That's not including shipping or whatever. But SG Fresh Ideas for a similar install kit with everything included, like one piece of glass, 2 bottles of glue, the UV light, everything, that goes through around $30. Of course, this also is including shipping. This is definitely a good alternative if you don't want to spend this much on a screen protector. Now, if you want to buy just the glass itself, which for example, you would be doing if you didn't want to get a replacement from Whitestone and you already had the install kit, that would run you around $25, which I think is around the same price Whitestone is asking for their replacement. I think they asked something about around $20, but you have to send in your piece of glass before they'll actually allow you to get a replacement, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but I guess that's to prevent something like fraud. But yeah, honestly, this is a really good alternative if you just don't want to buy the Whitestone, or you can't. Like, let's say you're in a country that doesn't support Amazon or something like that. Just comparing the price, you obviously do not get as much as the installation kit from Whitestone Dome, but you do get a similar, if not equivalent product to what they're asking for so much money. So if you're someone who's kind of like cheap or doesn't want to spend something like $45 on a screen protector, this is honestly your best bet. So I just want to close this video out by saying special thanks to SG Fresh Ideas for actually sending this review copy to me. Without it, I wouldn't have known such a product even existed, because all you hear about online is just literally just Whitestone, Whitestone, Whitestone. There seem to be no equivalent products. Unfortunately, you do have to go through their website if you do want to purchase it. You don't have something like Amazon. Honestly, that's just kind of how it is. If you want to get something a little cheaper, you have to, there's a reason why it's cheaper. Maybe they just have to cut down on stuff like Amazon taking their cut or whatever. So if you're comfortable with purchasing through their website, I'll leave a link to that down below. They have a WhatsApp and a Skype, and they're very active on both. I messaged them a while back. They replied back within a day. That was just only because they were sleeping at the time I messaged them, but they messaged me back right as they woke up. So yeah, I don't really have any other words to say about this other than this is a great screen protector. This is one of the best screen protectors I've ever used, and it will be really hard to go back to something like a adhesive where it doesn't require any liquid or any UV curing, because this is honestly one of the best screen protectors I used. There's no issues with touch sensitivity. Viewing angles are great. Water resistance is retained, as in you can take a shower with this or you can submerge it and it won't affect the adhesive here at all. It won't get underneath the screen protector. And it's compatible with a shit ton of cases, to put it frankly. If you guys have any questions or comments for me, just leave them down below. If you guys would like to purchase it, links are also down below. Thank you for watching.